27 shots, 7 on target, north of 2 expected goals, but 0 actual goals. That's Spain's World Cup opener, a 0-0 draw with Cape Verde, a chain of islands off the coast of West Africa, fewer than 500,000 people playing in their first World Cup in their history. Their goalkeeper is 40 years old, and he was easily the best player on the field today. This is the tournament favorite we're talking about. So I want to walk you through what happened in this game because the 90 minutes tell you almost everything about whether Spain can still win this whole thing. Personally, I still think they can, and I still think they have a good shot, but this game spelled out the one condition in giant letters. Cape Verde showed up in Atlanta with exactly one idea and ran it to perfection. Everybody behind the ball. A double bank of defenders, the whole team camped on the edge of their own box, daring Spain to find a way through. Park the bus, lock the door, and throw away the keys. And for almost 90 minutes, Spain knocked. They basically had the ball the entire game, the territory, the shot count, all of it. What was never found was the way in. The Cape Verdean keeper is the headline, Vozinha, 40 years old, stood on his head, especially in the second half. The defining moment came before the break when Ferran Torres smashed the crossbar from close range, and the rebound dropped to Mikel Oyarzabal, and Oyarzabal's header, which is basically already a goal, gets clawed away by Vozinha again. Those were Spain's two best chances in one sequence. And that wasn't a one-off. Go down the list, half an hour in. Oyarzabal got played through by Ferran, and he takes a heavy first touch, and then it was gone. A few minutes later, Pedri unloads a gorgeous volley from the edge of the box. Vozinha tips it over, and it gets flagged offside anyway. Then, the crossbar and header double save. And then, with the literal last kick of the match in stoppage time, Yamal swung in a corner, Oyarzabal climbed again, and he heads it wide. The expected goals were north of 2 for Spain, to Cape Verde's 0.3. Spain created more than enough chances to win this comfortably. They just couldn't find a way to put their chances away, and every time they did hit the target, the keeper was there. Here's the part that actually matters, and it's not a hot take. It's pretty much the thing that everyone watching landed on. Spain started this game without Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams. Both are carrying injuries, and both are only fit enough to play off the bench. So De La Fuente lined up with Ferran Torres on the right and Gavi on the left out wide instead, which in my opinion was a poor tactical decision from De La Fuente against a team that was going to sit deep. Breaking down 10 men behind a wall is like the single hardest thing to do in this sport. It takes a specific kind of player, someone who can get the ball in a phone booth, beat his guy one-on-one, and invent something out of nothing. They need a player with ingenuity, and today Spain's most ingenious players were sidelined. De La Fuente basically said it himself afterwards. We should have won today's match with all the favorable situations we created, but we lacked freshness and a clinical edge. Favorable situations, but no end product. That's Spain's night in one sentence. And we got the proof in the last 20 minutes. Yamal finally came on in the 71st minute and immediately did the Yamal thing. He drove right at the defense, carved out a chance for Ferran Torres almost instantly. The whole temperature of the game changed the second he stepped on the field. Dani Olmo got about 9 minutes, Nico Williams got even fewer. Spain's actual front line shared a cameo in stoppage time. You can argue the subs came on too late, and plenty of people will, but the more useful takeaway isn't the timing, it's what those few minutes revealed. The instant the creators arrived, Spain had teeth. Without them, all that lovely possession was for naught. So can they still win it? Yes, and almost nobody who watched it thinks otherwise. Spain are still one of the favorites. A draw isn't a crisis. One drop point in June doesn't decide a World Cup. But the game wrote the condition for this to happen in bright red ink. And Cape Verde basically handed the rest of the tournament a blueprint. Everybody just watched it. Pack the box, stay disciplined, make Spain do something special, and dare them to do it without their special players. After Atlanta, everyone parked the bus against Spain. So it really comes down to one sentence. Spain can win this World Cup if their ingenuity is on the field and influential. Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, Dani Olmo, the guys who unlock a packed defense, who do the thing you can't draw on the whiteboard, need to play. So for Spain to do this, they need to get them fit, get them starting, give them more than 19 minutes, and this team can actually make a deep run into this tournament. Leave them on the bench, and you get more nights like this one. Game on was just the reminder. Like, share, and subscribe, because we're going to be making content for the rest of this tournament. See you guys later. Bye.